What's up, YouTube? Scott Skyny Tradition back with another video. I'm going to do a quick video response here. Well, I hope it's quick, but it may be a little bit longer than normal. For Mike, Baseball Collector, Bench Clear Media. His contest involves making a video about talking about the relationships and the different people you've met in this community and kind of what they meant to you. Maybe talk about that person a little bit. I've been blessed to meet just tons of people through YouTube. And it was evident when I went to the National last year and got to meet so many people for the first time. It was just an amazing experience, and I hold all the relationships of people that I've met through YouTube in very high esteem. Uh, you know, there are a lot of you that I communicate with just on YouTube, back and forth. Um, but for this contest, I'm just going to kind of talk about some of the people that the relationships have progressed beyond YouTube, and talk through Facebook and text messaging, and stuff that gets into other realms of life in addition to just cards. Because granted, there's a lot of good people out there, and we can talk cards all day, but it's really the kind of stuff that goes beyond just the cards that I'm going to kind of talk about for this contest. So thanks for putting on the contest, Mike. I think the deadline is tonight. Today is 11:23. And I think Monday today is the deadline for the contest. So either way, here we go. I'm just gonna roll off some names here. So Joey, Bert Cat 8. Just saw Joey at the local card show that we had here 2 weeks ago, and great guy. Stayed with him at the National in Chicago this past year, and was so much fun. And he kind of introduced me to a lot of how the National goes. I chatted with him a lot about it, and he was kind of there to kind of guide me through that whole first National experience. So I'm very appreciative of him for that. And of course, he's a Packers collector as well, so we have a lot in common in that aspect. He probably lives about an hour and a half north of where I live. He lives up in the UP in Michigan, so he's not too far away. We went to a Bucks game together earlier last year, back when people still attended basketball games. So he's probably the only YouTuber that's been to my actual house, and seen my collection firsthand, and that was a great experience as well. So I've seen him in person a few times. So and it's really been cool getting to know somebody that close, and it's just been awesome. So yeah, Joey Bert Cat 8 is someone that comes to mind, of a friend that I've made through YouTube, but is more than just cards. It's we talk about all kinds of stuff as well. So um, another guy, Brian Roth, B Roth 6. So Brian and I met at the National, I want to say, for the first time in person. I ended up spending like a ton of time with him there. There was a day I think I walked around with him for just hours. As he searched for his obscure Hank Greenberg cards, and I was probably trying to find that 58 hires Hank Aaron card, which I did not find. But I spent a lot of time with him and Max Jackson, and Michael Shane walking around the National. So, and I talked to Brian a little bit beforehand, and he was somebody I was looking forward to meeting at the National, and of course exceeded all expectations at the National, and just a super nice guy. Nothing but good things to say about Brian, and could talk to him about lots of different things, and we certainly do. But he has a great mind for collecting as well. So B Roth 6 is somebody who I can think of. Somebody who I've not met in person, but who I have talked to a fair amount recently, is Josh, Jay Stadelmeier 1. And I talked to him through Facebook mainly, but obviously he used to have a great football collection. Maybe that's why we kind of hit it off. But he has a wonderful pre-war collection. If you haven't checked out Jay Stadelmeier 1's channel, you need to go do that. He has to have one of the best years ever. I'd love to see a year recap for him as far as collecting goes. But Josh is a good guy. He's reached out a few times just to say, hey, how are things going? So he's that kind of guy. It does go beyond collecting, although his collecting is pretty insane, and I love what he collects. So look forward to kind of fostering that relationship a little more. Just a good guy, Josh. Also Bart, the PSA card guy. Bart first met in a Facebook group, the PSA Facebook group, probably about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago even, or longer. I feel like I've been in that group quite a while, but just a great dude. 49ers super collector, Jerry Rice collector. Um, and, we've talked about other stuff as well. Obviously, he's in the military, in the Air Force. And, I've had some people sort of in my family that, are in the military as well. I've got so my stepdad's uncle was a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient uh, here in Wisconsin for the Korean War. So we talked about stuff like that, just his family history and stuff that I'm really interested in. And, he kind of jobs me about the Packers every now and again, and I'll do the same about San Francisco. And but when it comes to him, just solid, which shouldn't be surprising, given what he does for a living. But just a solid guy every way around, a guy I would completely trust, and I really value his opinion in the hobby and in a lot of things. Just a very level-headed guy, and I think you'll see this as I kind of go through some of these people. They have these same attributes, very level-headed. They're not, one way or the other, really like eccentric and really one way or the other. But I tend to gravitate towards people that are, are I guess even keeled people and you know kind of middle of the road kind of people. I guess I don't know if that's the correct way to say it, but that seems to be who I tend to gravitate to for friendships. So Bart definitely, and then Phil as well. You all know Phil from Filmington. Met him. I think I was like his in his first 5 subscribers. I think I had to be like one of the top 5, and right away I was like, I could see this guy, doing pretty well on YouTube just because he had such a great speaking voice and was pretty articulate in the numbers, and we all like numbers, and has a good mind for speculation as well, especially with modern baseball. So um, right away, kind of took an interest to Phil and his channel, and we've talked a lot on Facebook on and off since then. And again, stuff that's always not just about collecting, just stuff in general, and mostly sarcastic stuff because Phil's super sarcastic. If you don't know him personally, he's pretty sarcastic in kind of a smart, witty way, and I tend to gravitate towards people like that as well. I don't know why, but Phil, I love just chatting it up every now and again with Phil, here and there, just throwing each other random things. So, and then Dwayne from GZ Sports Cards is another one. He's big into TTM now, so we've had some conversations. We've actually talked on the phone a number of times. I think 2 or 3 times in the last at least maybe month or two, just kind of going through different TTM stuff and different parts of the collection. And I think he lives down in Georgia now, but I want to say he's from Pennsylvania originally. So, he's a multi-sport collector. So, that appeals to me. Somebody who knows a lot about a lot of different things. And Dwayne collects it all, and he collects quality as well. So, just a super chill dude, and I think a really good dude. And I'd love to meet Dwayne in person sometime. So hopefully, at when people can actually get together and commence again. I'd love to meet him at a national or something like that. So yep, Dwayne from GZ Sports Cards, and then we've got Bob Lewis. Bob, you all know Bob. So Bob, met him at the national for the first time. It was great to meet him in person. He was somebody who I was really looking forward to meeting. Was with him since really the beginning of his channel as well, and I love that Bob loves Seinfeld. He's a huge Seinfeld fan. So am I. I think me and Bob have had several conversations just through text that don't involve any real jargon at all. We're just quoting Seinfeld back and forth to each other. We have entire conversations through Seinfeld. So if you're a huge Seinfeld fan, you're probably gonna get along pretty well with me. So just really like Bob, and we talked to him about some other stuff as well, and sent a few care packages back and forth throughout the last 2 years. So just a really enjoyable personality and a person to be friends with. So I definitely treasure talking to Bob. And along the same lines, Andy, she blinded me with refractors. I was not with Andy from the beginning of his channel, but I kind of came on with him a little bit later. But I think it was when I met him at the National for the first time. Andy is just, I think of all the people I met at the National, and I've met some awesome people there, Andy probably exceeded my expectations the most. He's just, and I've heard this mentioned on other videos as well. He's just a good dude. He just how do you what can you say about Andy? He's always, I think somebody said he's always there and available. Like he is. He's always there, available. We don't just talk about sports cards. There's other things we talk about, family, other things. We tend to agree on a lot of things in life. So, like Andy's just someone who I look at, who I feel like I've known for much longer than I have. I guess. I don't know if Andy just reminds you of somebody that you know to everybody, but he just is. I don't know. He's just a good dude. That's all I can say about Andy. Um, but we do text a lot back and forth about like just our certain sports teams. Basketball. We're both pretty big basketball fans. College football, other current events that are going on. I really value Andy's opinion, and when it comes to just a level-headed person, I don't think there's anybody more level-headed than Andy, and that's a complete compliment. And totally look forward to getting together whenever the next national is. Um, let's see, I got 5 people left here. All right, sorry for the long video, but um, kind of want to get all these people in. So next would be rated rookie Josh. Met him at the National. He was somebody who I was really looking forward to meet as well. And it's funny because you never see Josh's face really in his videos. So, when we went to the National, I was like, all right, I always appreciated his videos, love the way he collects. It's all the sports, it's a lot of the top 250 cards. So, all cards that I can really relate to. And, I forget, I eventually found him. I think he was walking around with Nate at the National. And I think we were trying to communicate through Instagram because he didn't use Facebook very much, and I barely ever use Instagram. So, but finally we hooked up at the National. Was great to meet him, and I felt like just really hit it off. Good conversations. Um, just a good guy, super chill, super smart. He just kind of lets things go as they will. Just another good level-headed person, and we do text and we stay in contact. Josh lives way the heck out in California, but we do stay in contact through text. And it was great doing the virtual national thing with him and Phil and Mark Foo 3112. That was a lot of fun. We did that a couple months ago. And ironically, Mark is the next guy on my list, Foo 3112. Also a great dude. Met him at the National for the first time. He was somebody who I never even followed or watched one video of his until I met him at the National. And it was that night, Phil and Caesar's party, and he had obviously the awesome mantle, 52 mantle card, and a couple other awesome cards that we've all seen. But I thought it was great to meet him there, and then, but really it was after the National that relationship kind of took off, and we've talked on the phone a number of times since then. And again, just a level-headed person. He's a good thinker. He's got a good mind. Um, he cares about others. He cares about society in general. Mark is just a very unique guy, and I really appreciate him, taking the time to actually reach out and kind of foster the relationship that we've had so far. I think he's road tripping right now. I think he just posted some pictures. He was in like Zion National Park in Utah, so I'm super jealous because that's kind of right up my alley, that kind of stuff. But yeah, really, it's been really great getting to know Mark a lot more since the National last year. Um, how about Dave, Blue Jacket 66? So he, again, somebody who I met at the National for the first time, and you know, just he was a super nice guy in person. Dave was awesome. Got to hang out with him and his son at the National, and we've talked through text, um, back and forth here and there. I think we talked on the phone once or twice as well. Packer Chief kind of stuff. He knows I'm a football fan. Obviously, I just picked up the Hank Aaron hires card, and I know he's a food and beverage guy. So we both kind of work in the medical field, so we have that kind of connection as well. Uh, Dave is just a good guy. He's fascinating to talk to, a wealth of knowledge, and certainly treasure that friendship as well. Um, 2 more to go here. We got Dane Cartex 710. One of the most generous people in this hobby, and I could have said the same thing for Dave, but we all know that. Dave, who I just talked about, but Dane as well, a little more under the radar than Dave. But Dane is just a caring guy, a good guy, and it's not just about him adding stuff to his collection. He wants others to do well in addition to him just himself. So, been great talking to Dane. I consider him a good guy. Haven't talked to him a ton. I know he is like, I think he's buying a new house, so he's been pretty busy and not into collecting a whole lot at the moment. So I think his videos have dwindled a little bit, but super quality collector and person. I've enjoyed every conversation I've had with Dane. I don't think anybody has a bad thing to say about Dane. And last but not least, Andrew, Nuff Said Cards. Um, Talked to him on and off, through text about different pickups that I've had. Met him at the National for the first time as well. Another guy who I really wanted to meet, whose videos I really appreciated. And of course, he never shows his face either on video. But it was great to finally track him down. I remember trying to figure out how I was going to meet him up with him at the National, and I think I asked Mike, and he's like, "No, you don't find Dave, or you don't find Andrew. Andrew finds you." So I'm glad he found me because just a great guy to talk to. Super easy to talk to. Some personalities are just easy; they mesh better with others. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny that way. And sometimes it's not who you'd expect. Sometimes it's not somebody who's exactly like you, but some people just talk to each other easier than others. And that's how I kind of feel it was with Andrew. Just easy person to talk to. I remember walking back from that hotel on Phil's party with Andrew and B Roth and just chatting here and there. It was a good time, and we've definitely stayed in contact. And it's not just cards. It's family stuff here and there, and what are you doing? How are things going in your area? He lives out on the East Coast, of course, so I live in the Midwest. So just kind of fill each other in on how things are going in our certain areas. So again, all great people. I think I named 13 people. There's probably more I could have named, but these are people who I just generally have talked to in addition to just YouTube, outside of YouTube, so like through text and phone calls and whatnot, and in addition to cards. So I certainly appreciate all their friendships, and if you guys want to make a video for this, the deadline I believe is tonight, so I think you still have a chance. It'll still be good if you make one tonight. With that being said, enjoy your Thanksgiving, everybody. Be safe out there. COVID is still absolutely rampant, especially up here in the upper Midwest. So I think we're just gonna have like a low key. Actually, I'm on call this Thanksgiving anyways for work, so I wouldn't have been able to go anywhere anyways. But we're just gonna kind of have a low key, just the personal family kind of thing for Thanksgiving this year. So everybody be safe, but enjoy yourself and have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching.